Hello everyone, in this lecture I will explain box model of CSS. So it's very important, you must know box model if you want to use CSS effectively. So let's discuss box model. So according to box model, you can see on the screen there are four boxes: C, P, B and M. C is for content, P is for padding, B is the border and M is the margin. So what is padding? Padding is the space between the content and the border, and as you can see this is the content, this is your content, this is the content which you will use on your website, and here is the border, and this is the border around that content. So this is the border, and padding is the space between the content and the border. So padding is the space between the content and the border, and it is the padding. Okay, and as you can see, the border is padding top is here, and padding left this side, padding right is this side, and padding bottom this side, you can see. And what is the margin? And see, this is the border around the content, and there will be some another element, and margin is the space around an element. Margin is the space between two elements, and padding is the space between content and border. You can read from here. So what is padding? Padding is the space between content and border. And what is margin? Margin generates the space around an element. Okay, and if you are not able to understand using this diagram, and I will explain with plenty of examples in this lecture. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code, and I will explain what are these padding, how you can set the padding and how you can set the margin with different examples. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code, and here I will create a new page. So let's say the page is index5.html, and I will create a new CSS file. So style3.css, and let me close other files. So this is the index5. Let's create a boilerplate. Okay, fine, and here I will link this HTML file to the style3 CSS. Very simple. And now I want to explain padding first. So let's create a new paragraph. So let's create a paragraph dot let's say any name, paragraph dot content, and here I will use lorem 45 random text I want to create. Okay, and let me save it and open this in the live server. So this is the paragraph, as you can see. And now I will explain how you can use a padding and what is the padding in detail. Okay, so for now go to the style3 and see the class of this paragraph is content. So I will apply the CSS to dot content, and here I will use a border of border 1 pixel and a solid, let's say black. Okay, my focus will be on explaining padding, and I will not explain the rest of the CSS properties. So let's use another property, background color, and background color suppose lavender. Okay, and save it, and now see the, and you can see this is the border, as you can see around the text, and this is the content. So this is the content and this is the border. You can see content and border. Now I will generate some padding between the content and the border, and for that I will simply use padding, and suppose a padding of 50 pixel. Okay, and now see the difference. Let me refresh it, and you can see the padding of 50 pixel from every side, because I have not applied with that I want 50 pixel padding from left, right, top or bottom. I am just used padding 50 pixel, and you can see the space between the border and the content is 50 pixel from every end. Okay, let me decrease this padding, and now I will set padding to 20 pixel, and again refresh it. You can see the difference. Okay, now let me explain another property. So for that, let's create a new paragraph. So paragraph dot, let's say, left. Okay, and here I will use content lorem 32, and now I will apply CSS to this left. So dot left. Okay, dot left, and let's say it's a background color is blue. Okay, and I want to apply padding left, and padding left to 50 pixel, and now see the difference. Let me refresh it, and you can see this is the padding is only on the left side, because I am using only padding left, and padding is on the left side only. And what if I increase this value? What if I use padding left to 100 pixel and refresh it? You can see the padding is on the left side. Okay, let's create another paragraph, and a paragraph, let's say right, and lorem 82, and now I will apply padding to right. Okay, and let's change its background color to light cyan. Okay, and padding right to 50 pixel. Okay, and go to the browser and refresh it, and you can see there is a padding from the right side. Okay, and if what if I increase this value? Let's increase this value to 200 pixel. Okay, so you can see there is a padding from the border. There is a space, you can see, between the border and the content. Okay, and similarly you can have a padding right, and you can have padding top. Let's say let's decrease, let's say 50 pixel. Padding top is 50 pixel, and refresh it, and you can see there is a space on the top side and on the right side. Okay. So that's in this way you can apply the padding left, padding right, padding top, padding bottom. Let's change its value, padding in bottom to 50 pixel. Okay, and refresh it, and you can see. So this way you can use padding left, right, bottom, top, and you can apply this in a single line also, that I will explain later. So first of all, let me explain a margin. Now I will explain the margin. Okay, so now I will use, let's say this is the content, and I will use a margin to, let's say, margin and 50 pixel. Okay, and let me go to the browser and refresh it, and you can see, let me again show you that, let's say margin of only 10 pixel, and see, I want to change the margin of this paragraph, and now see the difference. Firstly the margin was 50 pixel, now the margin is 10 pixel, and see the difference. Let me refresh it and see the difference. Okay, let me again change the margin of this left content, the class left, and let's say its margin is 50 pixel, go to the browser and see the difference. But there is a margin between. Margin is the space between around an element. This is the element and margin is the space around an element, means 50 pixel to every side, you can see. And what if I apply only margin left? Okay, then see the difference. The margin is 50 pixel from the, see, on the left side, and there is no margin here. By default margin is auto, but if I set the margin to 0, these both these contents both will collapse. But now the margin is 50 pixel from the left side, so margin is 50 pixel from the left side. So this way you can use the margin. And what if I write margin, let's say 10 pixel, and the margin will be 10 pixel, as you can see from the borders of the this. And if I increase the margin to 50 pixel, and let me refresh and see, the margin is 50 pixel. Okay, now you can also you can apply the margins to the image as well. Okay, so let me explain how you can apply margins to an image. Okay, so for that, let's create a new page. So index6.html, and again I want to create a new style, so style4.css. let me close this and this, and now go to the index 6 and apply a boilerplate, and okay, and let's create a one h1 tag, welcome to the site. Let's create a paragraph, lorem32, and let's create a image, and image source, name of the image is what is the image that I have used, c.jpg image I will use. And I want to okay, let me open this in the live server, open with live server, and this is the image. So first of all, change the width and height of the image. So width is 100 pixel, and height is 100 pixel. Okay, so let me what happened, I have not linked this CSS file, so link style4.css. okay, refresh it, and okay, so this is the image. Let me increase the width and height. Okay, now I will apply the margin to the image, and if I apply margin top to, let's say, 20 pixel, then what will happen? Let me refresh it, and you can see there is a space between this paragraph and this image. And what if I increase the margin top to 50 pixel and refresh it? You see the space has been increased between around this element, around this image. Okay, and similarly, let's create a border around the image, and border 5 pixel solid. Okay, and margin, let's say bottom of 100 pixel. Okay, and margin left of 20 pixel. Okay, go to the browser, let me refresh it. Okay, so I have created a border around this okay, and margin from the left is 20 pixel and margin from the bottom is 100 pixel. There is no element beside this image. For that, let's create another paragraph here. So paragraph and lorem 67, let's say, and go to the browser and refresh it and see there is a margin of margin bottom is let me check, margin bottom is 100 pixel, and let me decrease it 10 pixel. Okay, and refresh it. Okay, and see there is margin of 10 pixel, and there is no space between the border and the content because I have not used the padding. And if you use padding, let's say 5 pixel, and refresh it, and you can see the space between the content and the border. Very good. Okay, and now if you want to use if you want to use a margin, let's say let's create a if you want to use margin in a single statement, you can also use. Let's create a one button here. Okay, and name of the button is, let's say, anything, click me. Okay, and go to the browser, refresh it, and see there is a one button, click me here. You can apply margin in a one statement. For example, see the button, and if you want to use margin in a one line, see I will explain. You can use like this: 30 pixel, 0, 0 and 0. What does it mean? Let me first of all show the output. Margin is 30 pixel. It means 30 pixel from the top. 30 pixel from the top. So this is a top. Okay, and right, bottom and left. So top, right, bottom and left. Okay, so let me do this all on the paragraph, and then you will be able to understand it more. So these are the paragraphs. Let me refresh it, and you can see the margin of the paragraph is 30 pixel from the top. And if see, this is top, and then top, then right, then bottom, then left. And if, for example, if I want to apply margin to only top and right, and let me save it, and top and right, and you can see the margin is on the top and on the right side. Very simple. Margin is on the top and on the right side. Okay, and you can set the margin in one statement using this line, top, using this line only, top, right, and then bottom, and then left. Next one thing that you can do, let me delete this padding. Okay, and that is the border radius. And you can set the border radius. Let's say border radius is 115 pixel, let's say, and go to the browser and let me refresh it, and you can see the border radius is on the all end of this image. Let me increase the width and height of this image. Okay, and let me refresh it. You can see this is the image, and there is a border radius of 15 pixels on all the corners. Okay, and let me increase border radius to 50 pixel, and then see. Okay, and see the border radius is of 50 pixel on all sides. And what if you don't want to apply border radius on all the ends but on a particular end? For that, let me explain a border radius. Border radius actually contains 4 parameters. So let me write like this: 50 pixel, 50 pixel, 50 pixel, and 50 pixel. And let me explain all these 4. And this is the top left, then top right, and then see the top left, top right, and bottom left. So see, this is the top left, top right, and then bottom right, and then bottom left. And these 4 values: top right, left, top right, bottom right, and bottom left. And what if I want to apply a border to only top left? Then I will set other values to 0. And see the difference. Okay, you can see the border is on only top left. And what if I change I want to apply border to this end on this end also? So top left, top right, and bottom right, and third value is bottom right. And what if I will set these value 50 pixel? Very simple. And let me refresh it, and you can see the border on the top left and on the bottom right. And you can change another values accordingly. You can change and see, if I talk about more margin, then 4 values are top, right, bottom, and left. First value is top, right, bottom, and left. And if I talk about border radius, first value is top left, then top right, then bottom right, and then bottom left. You can play with these values, and then you will be able to understand. And let me again set the value to 0, and then this time border will be applied here only. Okay, and you can see the border is applied on bottom right only. So in this lecture I have covered how you can set the margin, how you can set the padding, border radius, how you can set the border radius in single line only. I have explained the box model. So try to use these values, you try to change these values, and how these values affect your CSS, how affect your elements on your web page. So you must try. So thank you for watching.